my name is Issa and this is Issa. Today we are back with 6 ways to live in a small space or apartment. So Misa and I, we both live in an apartment and we've been living in a small space for the last 5 years. We've had to learn quite a few tricks to open up and make it less claustrophobic. My first tip is to have furniture that suits your space. Things that are proportionate. If you want a really big L-shaped sectional couch, then have a smaller coffee table. If you want that statement armchair, have a smaller couch, like have a 2-seater. Just have things that suit your space.
Yeah, best to go measure the space first and then see what will fit into it rather than go and buy a really big TV, a really big couch, a really big coffee table, and then really limiting the space that you have to live in.
I think choose the one thing that's important to you, then I guess everything else can kind of work around it.
My tip would be to have plants in your space or the apartment. So don't go overboard, you don't have to have a million plants, but I quite like having a statement plant just to bring in some nature indoors, and it helps open up the space too, brings in fresh air. Have, one in the corner just to lighten and brighten up the place.
You're so good because I don't have a green thumb. My plants have not been doing well. Nowadays you can actually buy some really nice faux plants from IKEA and from some home stores. So if real plants are not a thing for you, you can also buy
a fake plant.
Yeah, or even a succulent.
Yeah. It just makes spacing brighter. Yeah.
My second tip is to enhance any windows you've got and use mirrors. With windows, if you've got them, don't block them up with any furniture, because windows let you bring light in and it will open up your space. I have not met a floor mirror I have not loved. They're good for outfit of the days, but not only that, they look so good and they open up your space.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. IKEA does a really good one for a cheap price. It's
like less than $200.
Yeah.
It's $199, but it's probably like nearly 2 meters tall. I always love it when you come into a room and there's a mirror there. Not only can you check yourself out, but then it also just doubles up the space because it just opens up rather than you see a flat wall.
You can get some really good secondhand ones. Mirrors are they're delicate and they're hard to transport. A lot of people, when they move, can't take it with them.
Yeah.
So if you check on Gumtree or eBay, you can probably get a really good one for
a fraction of the cost.
Yeah. And if you can't have a full mirror, you can always invest in one that's attached to the wall. It opens up your space.
Yeah. My next tip would be to have a home for everything that you own. This may sound really silly, but I think if you mentally go, no, this is where I'm going to keep the TV remote control, or this is where I'm going to keep the cutlery or the plates, it makes your place seem a lot more cleaner and a lot more organized when you mentally know that everything has an area or a space that they need to live in, rather than just all on the coffee table or on the kitchen bench.
I think it's a really good habit as well. Once you use something, just put it back in its place, and that helps you remember where it is.
And it's also good with storage boxes too. If you have a lot of storage boxes, label them, because I never used to label my boxes, and then when I needed something I would literally take all the boxes down, open them up and go through them just to find something that I've stored away. So it's really good to be able to have a sticker on it or a marker and then just mark what you've kept in each box too.
So my last and final tip is to have less. I think that sounds a little bit silly because you just assume that people living in a smaller space will have less, but that is not necessarily true. I've got these little figurines. I've got so many jars of that, and you know how much I like glassware.
Yeah.
So once I use a candle, I wash them, I clean them, and I keep them.
It's good to repurpose things.
It is.
But when you're not using it.
So 2 questions to ask. One is, does it have a purpose? If it doesn't, then the second question is, does it spark joy? I think that's a KonMari question, right? If it doesn't spark joy, I think you really do need to get rid of it.
Yeah. And then with my next one, kind of leads on to yours, but it is buy what you need and buy as you go. Don't buy things for the sake of it. Like when you do move into a new place, you get very excited and you want to buy lots of new plates or lots of new cutlery or lots of new furniture and decorative things for the place. but hold off on it. Live in your space and then reassess what you need. Like, do you really need 10 mugs? Or, you know, you could make do with only 4 if it's just you and your friend or you and your partner. And that way it will be better on your bank account and better for your space.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I did wrong. And I think Misa learned from my mistake. Because obviously when I first moved out, I got so excited and I'd never lived out of home before. So I just went to one of my favorite homeware stores and bought everything. The bad thing about it is that sometimes when you buy all at once, there's no cohesion. And so some of the stuff, like I've got 2 sets of crockery and they just don't mesh. You know, the one I have where it's like square and then the other set of plates that are circles. But once you have them, you can't really get rid of them if you're using them day to day. But I think that's a really, really good tip.
Or else, you know, you get sucked in and you buy like 50 pots and pans. Like you only really need a fry pan and a pot. So yeah, so just buy as you need.
Those are our 6 tips. That's how we make the most of the space we do have. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Leave us a comment if you have any other tips for us. And we'll see you next time, guys.
Bye, guys.